Y'all hear that? That dang laundry is on. Nothing ruins a good video like the laundry noise. Yeah, we've got a full table today. However, we're going to be doing something kind of fun, something a little different. And yeah, I think this one's going to be exciting. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good episode of the World's Worst Fishing. We've even got the beer ready, so you know it's getting serious today. Let's roll. What's going on, everyone? Like I just said, Chris Jones here with the World's Worst Fishing, and welcome back. Okay, so let's get right to it. I did a video, one of my last videos, it might even be my most recent video. I can't remember anything these days. However, we recently did a video where we did another react video and sort of critiqued and gave you my thoughts on other people's baits, which I really enjoy that. So let me know if you want to see more of those in the comments down below. So another bait maker in the bait sphere, who also runs a channel, and we looked at one of his baits in the previous video, Johnny Sweet, 5.13 lure works, I believe. And he did a video kind of doing a bait review as well. And so he and I then said, well, you know what, we should do a bait swap. And then, you know, we kind of had this little, you know, manufactured rivalry, you know, kind of online. If you're in the Facebook groups, you may have seen some of the banter. But in all seriousness, he made some really great swim baits that he's going to send my way. And now, in this video, we're going to, let's see, what's the phrase I'm looking for? We're going to, something the favor. I'm really losing it, guys. We're going to return the favor, I guess is what I'm looking for. So what we're going to do is we're also going to do two swim baits in the same mold. He was using the 7 1/4 inch AI, those dorks right there, angling AI molds, open pore swim bait, and he did sort of a skin pour with some dotting paint. Bluegill looks really pretty. We'll put up some pictures of his baits here, and then I basically said, okay, now I got to come up with the goods too. And one thing that I've been asked to show a lot is my Northern Lights pattern in the swim bait. And Johnny lives in Michigan. Now he says they don't really ever see the Northern Lights where he lives. He's a little bit south. I think he's Kalamazoo. But Northern Michigan gets the Northern Lights, he was saying. And so I said, well, I need to do the Northern Lights. That would make for an excellent bait swap. You know, two very different things. You know, his being a bluegill pattern, mine being more of like a obscure fantasy pattern, and that'll make for some good bait swap material. And plus, he lives up north, so in my mind, it made sense. So without too much more chit chat, here we go: head-to-head bait competition, bait swap with Johnny Sweet. Here we go. So here's our weapon of choice today. This is the 7 1/4 inch AI open pore swim bait. This thing is an absolute beast. She wears a 10mm eye, and something that AI developed was the 2-in-1 hook slot insert. So you can pour this mold as a slotted or hollow belly bait, or you can actually flip the insert upside down. Oops, wrong way. Upside down, and now it becomes a dummy insert, allowing you to pour a solid body. So super cool idea there. We're going to pour them slotted, of course. That's just sort of my default. And then we're basically just going to be doing lots of layered pouring, lots of our skin pouring techniques that we've been teaching for so many years now. There's really no limits to what you can do for it. Excuse me. There's no limits to what you can do with skin pouring. There are so many ways to apply plastic to a mold, and to layer, and to shade, and to really blend and mix color. And that's going to be our goal today in our Northern Lights pattern. By the way, if y'all have not discovered lilac, it's one of the dead shifts, you're really missing out. See how it's kind of pink and almost gold? Oh man, makes for like a really cool sort of purple sexy shad. So that's snow shine in the belly, dead on chartreuse for the vein, and then lilac for the top, which is this. I'm assuming it's lilac, maybe it's lilac, I really don't know. But it's a really awesome powder, as you can see. Really, really great stuff there, and that's in the AI 5-inch mold. So this is a Northern Lights picture I always come back to. You can see all the elements, the black, you can see the black grape, the pink, and then the lime. So that's kind of where I get those 4 colors from. And then what we do to mimic the stars in the background is we mix in a little bit of silver flake, which sort of looks like the stars peeping through from deep space behind all the colors. So yeah, really beautiful whenever it works out, and hopefully here on camera it will work out. Alright, so traditionally, and I've made this color maybe 4 or 5 times now, so I haven't made it a lot, but I always kind of start with the green, and the green sort of goes in the center of the mold. So again, we just want to get this mixed in. Always stir counterclockwise if you want to be cool. All you dudes that stir like this, y'all ain't right. So anyway, we're going to stir that way. And then we're just going to kind of do a little saturation test, just to see if we think it's thick enough. And I don't think it is. We can see through that a little bit too much. So we're going to add a little bit more color there. And then we're going to try it again. So let's go ahead and peel this out of the mold. This is sort of how I kind of see how my saturations are, is I go ahead and apply it to the mold where I'm actually going to use it. Yeah, that's not looking bad. And then just a little bit of silver, like I was saying. We don't want it to just be completely flaked out, because the stars in the actual picture are sort of in the background hiding. They're an afterthought. So we don't want too much of that. It's sort of a it's sort of one of those, you don't want people to see it at first, but when they notice it in the bait, they go, oh wow, he even got the stars. But you don't want it to be the quote star of the show. Get it? Anybody get it? You don't want the stars to be the... Anyway. Alright, it's been a long time since I've done this one, but let's try it. I kind of like to start in the tail and move it forward, much like I'm pouring my rainbow trout. So we're just going to kind of do it there, and just kind of make it a little bit random, right? Almost the more random you can make it, the better. The better that the colors will kind of naturally flow together. And this color is all about getting a beautiful blended melting look amongst the colors, right? Because if we look at our photo example again, let me pull it up. Right? All the colors are just beautifully blended by nature there. That is absolutely incredible. There's no hard lines between the colors. They're all gradients. And so that's our goal here as well. So now we're just going to do it the inverse here. Okay, we're going to come down here. Start there in the tail. And just kind of randomly slosh this plastic around. You know, you can kind of tap it. That'll help splotch it a little bit. Yep. You know, you can even kind of mess with it if you want, and really mess with it. So, yeah, I think that's about right. We don't want too much green. We don't want it to be the only thing that you see. We got to leave room for the other colors. So again, yeah. And the beautiful part is that each one is a little bit unique. They're not all going to be the same. Okay, now for the pink. I'm going to load it up with Neo Magenta. See where that takes us. Golly, that's pretty. Man, what a color. Such a beautiful, like, rose pink. There's a lot of different pinks. This one is gorgeous. Perfect. Saturation is already where we want it, so we don't need to keep messing with that. Gonna add our stars in. Alright. If you add the stars to every color base, you sort of get it mixed all in and around the whole bait. It's not just wherever one color is, it's where every color is, which to me is a little bit more like you want it. And now for the pink. I always kind of put the pink down in here. Alright, so we're going to kind of start right here. And we're just going to sort of fill it in towards the belly there. Alright, let it run a little bit. Just really kind of fill in that section of the bait. Okay. And then, you know, we might splotch a little bit here and there. Just kind of for some extra effect. But that's essentially where I like the pink to be. Sort of in that quadrant. So if I think about 4 spaces, I've got here, 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 and here. Our purple is going to go up here. The pink is here. And then we're going to basically line the whole thing in black. So again, we want our pink down in here. Alright. Just kind of follow that ridge almost of the pink, or excuse me, of the green, and then let it fill itself in. And now for the black grape. Okay. This is the one that you can oversaturate, so we don't want to do too much, because that's a pretty concentrated dark pigment. And we don't want it to look black in the mold, we want it to look that beautiful shade of purple. Yeah, so I think we're almost there. A little bit more. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, just got to get it rich enough to where we get that beautiful kind of June bug purple, which it looks like we are there. Time to add in our stars. Okay, little star action. And I mean, these are like fractions of a smidge here. This is little stuff. Not much flake at all. Not much. Just enough for you to notice, but that's all. Okay, and now for the black grape. Let's go ahead. And basically we're just going to fill it in this front little quadrant. Okay. Let it kind of move around a little bit. It can overlap a little bit. In fact, that's kind of what you want. You want that sort of kind of splotched, blended look a little bit there. Alright, so you can even bring it around a little bit, which is only going to add to the way that these colors play together. Okay, so we'll do another one for you here. We'll kind of start up here. Alright, let it kind of roll down into the head. But we don't want it to go to the top of the head, because we're going to line all that in black later. Alright, so a little bit there. Maybe splotch a little bit. Yeah. And again, that's just for a little bit of extra shading flair. Okay? So, there is what we're working with. And we can really see it coming together. And it will really work once we apply that black. It is mwah. It is mwah. Wonderful. Okay, and now for the final layer of the actual skin layers. So we're going to kind of start here in the back. Okay. And we're just going to kind of splotch it up towards the front. Okay. Make sure that we get some there in the head. There it is. Yep, and then we can kind of splotch a little bit here and there. Oh shoot, my bad guys. I'm having to watch what I'm doing. But essentially, that's how we lay the colors in. So let me try again here. And hopefully this will stay in focus the whole time. If I get too close, it'll get out of focus. So again, just want to kind of control the flow. Let it really get up there in the nose. You know, and then we can kind of splotch a little bit around, you know. Again, shading, right? So now look at sort of the depth of color. And it looks sloppy. It looks like a 5-year-old just sloshed plastic around. But really, it takes a lot of control and knowing what layers you need to do, your order of operations, to get this kind of result. So it is deceptively difficult, even though in theory it just kind of looks like, well, he just slung the plastic around. No, this is not drizzling, okay? This is not easy gimmicky stuff like drizzle. This is real color placement in mind to make it look organic, to make it look blended like nature. And it doesn't always look like a defined pattern on the outside, or in this case on the inside. Some of my best bluegill patterns that looked the realest looked like an absolute mess from the inside of the mold. Turn them around, how they come out on the outside is what counts. And sometimes your pattern can be too defined. Nature doesn't necessarily make patterns in straight defined lines, right? You know, there's always going to be a little bit of organic sloppiness to it, which I find to be the ultimate challenge. Okay, now for the bodies. So the belly is just going to be dead on snow shine. All right. So we're just going to start in the head. All right. Do a slow pour. Work our way up a little bit. Kind of maybe pour it up to here. Try to stop it there and then fill in down below. We're going to do it a little bit above the hook slot insert. If I was pouring a shad color that was going to have a vein, I would do it a little bit below the hook slot insert on the 7-inch. But here we just want as much white pearl belly as we can get in there. Approximately. Yeah. There it is. Okay, so now for the top color, and right now we have the Fishing All Out Baitmaker's hot plate set to 290. So with these bigger molds that have bigger plates, there's more surface aluminum that needs to get hot. I pump the temperatures up a little bit. So normally I'd pour about 275, pretty much around the board for all other sizes, but this ginormous plate, I usually turn the temperature up. For the top, we're just doing a light charcoal with a little bit of snow shine in there to give it a little bit of flake. To give it a little bit of sparkle, again going with sort of like the stars theme. So we're just going to top this off nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race with hand pouring, always. Oh yeah, baby, looking good. Start to bring it forward. We just want to dome it off just slightly above it. Okay. Beautiful. That should turn out about perfect. Let's see if we can get lucky twice. Alright, bringing it forward. Yeah. We need a little bit more in that midsection there. Okay. That should just about do it. One more drop. Perfect. Alright, there it is. Now it's just a waiting game till they're ready to take out of the molds, and then we'll see if we suck or not. So I have some eyeballs in mind that I want to use, and these are my Jetson lure eyes, which I'm not sure if he's going to be able to start his business back up. I get a lot of questions about Jetson eyes, and I don't really know their status, and that makes me very sad. These are premium products, and there's not even anything comparable, much less any sort of alternative. So I'm hoping that he can get back on his feet. I know he's been dealing with some injuries and had trouble hiring help. So anyway, the Aurora Borealis colors had a lot of, purples and greens and things like that. So I'm hoping that one of these texture pupils from my old Jetson Signature series will work, because a lot of really exotic colors going on there, and I think those in particular, something like that would look really good just to set these off. Again, these are, let's wow them and try to make, show baits. So we want to put on a really special eyeball that complements it as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Alright, well, as you can see, it is pretty warm out here. The heat index has been ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside, cool down for a little bit, drink some water, and let these molds kind of set up a little bit. Then we'll come back out here, we'll drum roll the molds, do a reveal, and hopefully these are worthy of this trade. Johnny does really good work, really cool stuff, so I don't want to produce some bad baits here. So in any event, we will meet y'all back and take a look, and then we'll put an eyeball on, and they'll be done. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please, for the 7 1/4 inch Aurora Borealis bait trade baits. Let's see if they turned out. Yeah, okay. Moment of truth. The molds are still a little warm. Let's make sure they're not gonna okay, perfect. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. Check that out. Purdy purdy. And you can see how we did it right there at the end. Here, you know what? Let's zoom in. See some of that little shading that we did right there at the end that kind of shows through the layers, adds to me so much effect. Oops, we're out of focus, and realism. Oh yeah, look at that. Stunning. Okay. All right, that one worked. Generally speaking, if one works, the other one will too. But you never know with hand pouring. It always keeps you guessing. Just when you think you got it figured out, it'll throw you for a loop. Yes! Okay. There it is. There it is, y'all. So if I did these again, I would probably bring the black grape a little bit further down. It's a little bit lost in the bait, so I probably would try to have a little bit more of that. But I'd say that is a roaring success. Get it? Aurora success. Yeah. Super cool. Alright, so I've got the baits ready for eyes, and one thing that you want to keep in mind, especially with these Jetson eyes, they actually have right and left side pupils. So if you look at these, those are actually opposites of each other, right? The kind of blue side is on here, is on the right side, and this one, the blue side's on the left side. So a lot of people don't really pay attention to the orientation of the pupils whenever they're trying to put eyeballs on a nice bait. So we're going to do it the right way. And a lot of lure eye manufacturers don't do the left and right. It's really only the smaller custom guys. So I want the blue on the top side, okay? Alright, so if I want my eyeball pupil facing forward and the blue on the top side, I gotta do it like this, alright? Okay, just gonna put it in place, clean it up, make sure it's in there. That's Loctite gel for the glue. Alright. And then the other side, obviously, gets the inverse pupil. Alright. So the blue will kind of be on the top, and I want the pupil facing forward. So I'm literally eyeballing the eyeballs. Okay. Move that, move that. Just kind of pull this plastic away. Make sure that it's really seated in there correctly. Oops, yeah. And there we have the finished thing. Look at that. That's stunners. It's awesome to have an eye that complements your pattern. And here they are out of kind of direct light on the table. Yeah, beautiful stuff. So we actually got the nitro out this morning, and I took Landon. He's almost 5 years old now, guys, if y'all can believe that. Took Landon to our local reservoir, and we did some brim fishing, just drowning crickets, and we did pretty good. I did not bring the camera because I just wanted it to be a father-son day and didn't want to have to worry about grabbing the camera and trying to get him to reel a fish in. And, you know, he doesn't quite know how to stick them once the bobber starts going under. So yeah, we had a good time, but I'll show you some of the fish. And yeah, we're gonna cook those up tonight. But yeah, it was good to get out in the bass boat. It has been a long time since we've gotten her out of this yard. So felt good to run the boat and just feel the freedom of being on the water. There's nothing quite like it. Yeah, a couple of nice bluegills about that size. Yep, I love all the different different colors that come in. You can see that one's got some orange in the tail. I absolutely love looking at bluegills and brim to get hand pour ideas from. Yeah, and there they are amongst their colors. Pretty cool that you can take just these inanimate pucks of green plastic, or pucks of plastic, doesn't have to be the green, all the colors, and turn it into something that is now a living bait that can move, swim, and catch a fish. Pretty cool. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed. Johnny, hope you like them. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Alright guys, it's hot as heck. I'm going inside. I'll link Johnny's video in the description below. And again, I'll put up some pictures of it during this video, probably in the beginning, whenever I was talking about his video that kind of started the whole bait swap thing. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below how you think we did. Also, let me know what you think of Johnny's baits. And yeah, hopefully we'll do this again. I'd like to do this with several bait makers. Just kind of collide a little bit, but also join forces. You know, kind of do some video collaboration type stuff. So with that said, I'm going to go get in this air conditioning. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are on the road to 100,000, and we will see you guys there.